Alright, so you want to learn the handstand, but you're not sure where to start, and you find it really thrilling to be able to hold your body upside down. This was me, and this is why I'm making this video, so to teach you guys how to do it. So the first thing is to get used to being upside down with assistance, such as a set of poles, as you see me doing here, which is like a ladder, but you can also do this with a wall at home. This is going to be crucial because this is going to be the first step for you to actually start to get rid of the fear of being upside down. It's going to be a foreign feeling when you first start doing it, but eventually you'll get used to it. And this was basically an exercise that I did a lot when I first started out, and it did help me a lot because it's just a weird feeling. Being upside down is not natural. Your whole life you've been walking and you've been the other way around, which is with your feet on the ground. But once you get that fear out, you then want to start practicing the actual handstand itself with your chest facing the wall. This is because your alignment is going to be correct. And if I was to remove this pole right here, I would actually be holding a nicely aligned handstand. But with your back to the wall, you can arch your back, which is not going to be good for core activation. So that's just to get rid of the fear of being upside down. Once that's done, get working on your strength straight away. As you see me here, I'm alternating my feet on the pole. This is a way to test your strength because holding it with both feet on the pole will also become too easy. So you can end up then making it a progression. So you can train your handstand and make it harder over time. This is progressive overload in a way. So just bear that in mind. If you can hold like this and it's too easy, then definitely start to take one foot off the wall. And as you can see here, I'm perfectly stacked and I'm nice and aligned. This is a straight handstand, and if that pole wasn't there and I kind of used photo editing to move it, I would be in a perfect handstand. So it's better to train it with your chest to the wall if you're actually trying to build strength. And then the back to the wall kick-ups is just to lose the fear of being upside down. We also have a very good yoga pose, which is a frog pose. Your elbows will be on the inside of your thighs, as you see here. This is an important detail because there's a harder version after this that I'm also going to show. So just bear this in mind. Your elbows will be on the inside of your knees. And the reason why this is easier is because you can put a lot more weight on your elbows as a result. This is a good way to build strength, and it's basically your first step to learning how to balance without any assistance whatsoever. Once this becomes too easy, what you want to do is then put your elbows directly on your knees. This is a small detail and a change from the previous variation, but it's going to be harder because you have a smaller margin for error. So if your knees are directly on your elbows, if they slip off, you're going to fall out. So it requires you to focus more, and it's going to improve your balance even more. So as you can see here, my knees and my elbows are making direct contact, and as I said, the margin for error is lower with this variation. You can't put as much weight on your elbows as with the frog. So this is called the crow pose, and then you just want to hold this here and get used to holding it. If it's your first time doing this one and you're trying to progress from the frog pose with your knees inside your elbows, what you can do is kind of do like rocking chair motion crow pose. So you hold it with your knees and your elbows together, you come back down to the ground, and then you go forward again. Another really important tip for people that are trying to learn the handstand quickly is to buy a set of parallettes. As you see me here, I can move the parallettes and I can grip them. And this is important because when you're training the handstand, it's so much of it is based on balance. And with the parallettes, you can actually make small adjustments throughout the entire set. Whereas on the floor, until you get quite good at it, you're not going to be able to hold for long. But with the parallettes, you can actually fully grip them, and you can use your forearms, and you have forearm activation and grip activation, so you can actually manipulate your body weight. And in handstand terms, that basically means if you start to fall back, you can adjust. If you start to fall forward, you can adjust, so you get a lot longer hold times. And just to illustrate this point even better, this is a close-up. As you can see, I'm holding the parallettes fully with my thumb around, if you look at my left hand. And on my right hand, you can actually see the little micro adjustments that I'm making while I'm in the handstand. So this is basically how you're going to get those longer hold times. You're never really just going to kick up and hold it. You have to actually learn to manage your body weight. And then this is just an example of the hands positioning with no equipment whatsoever. You want to go just outside shoulder width. It's probably the best and most balanced grip. And then, as you can see with my hands, I'm clawing the ground. My hands are not like this, where all my fingers are touching. This makes the margin for error a lot smaller. I want a wide base. So my thumb to my little finger, my pinky finger, is going to be as great of a distance as possible. I want to make my hands like a bear in a way. I want to make them very big and large, so that when I'm holding the handstand, I have a lot of room to play with. And you don't want to have flat fingers either. You want them nice and curled like this, so you could pass like a pencil through your fingers, because that will give you the ability to use the tips of your fingers and the base of your hand to balance. And then this is the final one. It's basically a motion called scapular elevation. You want to be able to push up with straight arms, because that's going to elongate your body. So if your arms are nice and straight and then you can push up into the sky, that means your handstand is going to be strong, because then you'll be able to actually be like straight like a pencil. So you see me doing scapular elevation here. So chest to the wall, and then I'm just pushing down into the ground with straight arms, and then that's going to raise my body up, and it's going to allow me to hold a nice and very straight aesthetic looking handstand, which is what you want. So do not neglect this. This is definitely a small tip, but it's a game changer 100%. And that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn the handstand, as you see me doing it here, practice it on different surfaces as well, and subscribe if you enjoyed.